Tired of this. I want robot umpires now. If Carlos Correa's making $30 million whatever dollars a year to play the game, surely we can pay R2-D2 to call balls and strikes. All right, this is ridiculous. I'm boycotting tonight's Twins game. It's totally not because I didn't want to stay up. No, how dare you even suggest that? I'm boycotting this in the name of robot umpires. Good day, sir. Moving on, we're going to go a little bit different. We're going to talk about every level in my prospect list at each level. So you'll see the rankings, some stats, some recent trends. We're going to talk about Royce Lewis real quick, but I want to point out that Jose Miranda has been really crushing it since he returned to the Twins. Cole Sands has not pitched well. There's no way to point that, but actually there are some encouraging things about his stats. Trigger warning. We're going to take a look at this play again. My reaction to this was just being super sad about it. I couldn't even look at it again until today. And just a freak injury. I don't think there's too much to look into it. Just a freak thing that happened. Obviously an unfamiliar position, but I don't know if you can necessarily blame that or anything. Anyway, moving on to the prospects in St. Paul. I should mention these stats are coming into today, so not including any action today. The big question with Spencer Steer is why he hasn't. He's been playing. He was in the Saints lineup tonight and played, so that's great. But there are some kind of recent trends. But, even though he's not a prospect, the guy to talk about is definitely Alex Kirilloff on the Saints right now. The Saints won 8-7 tonight to put their record at 31-29, which is crazy because they had such a bad start. But Kirilloff was 3 for 4 with a grand slam here you're seeing and a double. Spencer Steer, again, was in the lineup. He had a double and threw a walk, so that was great to see. Moving on to AA Wichita. Here is a rundown of some of the recent trends on those players. They lost tonight 4-3. We'll talk about a little bit of what happened there, but see, Austin Martin's been really trending down so far this month. Woods Richardson hasn't been pitching as well of late. Cantorino is hurt, although it's not expected to be serious, so that's good. Louis Varland's certainly a bright point, as well as Matt Wallner. You see, he's been just an absolute beast so far. Sawyer Gibson-Long was promoted. So there's just been a lot of news items I feel like we haven't touched on the channel I wanted to bring up. But again, tonight, the Wind Surge lost 4-3. Here's Edouard Julien hitting a home run. Matt Wallner also homered. And Casey Legumina pitched 6 innings of 1-run ball, no walks, and 5 strikeouts tonight. So again, Julien's a guy who's been a really great OBP guy. And kind of the power is going to be the question of how far he makes it. So great to see him hit a home run tonight. Down to Cedar Rapids, the Colonels. Here's those guys in the prospects. Again, those numbers next to the game is next to their names is where I have them on my prospect list. So you see some of the trends there. Christian Encarnacion-Strand we'll talk about in just a moment. But Cade Povich, David Festa, a couple of the real most exciting pitching prospects who were just drafted last year in the system at this level right now. And good to see Sabato and Solari start to tear it up. As you would expect, they should be beating up on the Midwest League, so that's good to see. But here is Christian Encarnacion-Strand's 14th home run of the season. He was the DH tonight. Again, just an incredible April, and you saw on the previous screen slumped in May, but he's back. He's back hitting again, better even than April. And I don't know how he hit that out and kept it fair. That was just a crazy inside pitch he got around on. Fort Myers, they had their game postponed tonight, but here's a look. We learned from Seth Stowe earlier this week that Emmanuel Rodriguez has undergone knee surgery and will miss 3 to 4 months. A crushing blow. Had a chance to maybe have a good case to be the number 1 prospect by the end of this year. Still could, but again, a bummer. And then Noah Miller is also slumping this month so far. And then on to rookie ball. I don't talk about rookie ball a lot. We're not going to cover that on a daily basis, but I do have Brian Medina, who made his organizational debut today, came over on a trade. He gave up 3 runs to 1 innings. Then I know some people are interested in Danny De Andrade, so those are his numbers, but only through 5 games, so not a lot to draw there. So that was just a speed run. Figure we'd do something a little bit different today. Thank you so much for checking this out. We'll talk again tomorrow.